Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, July 21st, and this is Chattin with CHAP episode 166. And I'm your host, Ginger. Processing your disappointments. I know it doesn't sound like the most fun topic, but there's some really important information I'd like to share with you today. And you know what? I just finished a study. It was Lisa Turker's book. It's not supposed to be this way. And it was very interesting. It talked about what God is doing in your life through those disappointments and because of those disappointments. So I learned a lot. So I was going to share some thoughts about that. We all have disappointments, right? So it could be big. It could be something huge like loss of a job or a health issue, something like that. It could be small, like I didn't get I went to the restaurant and I didn't get what I wanted to eat because they didn't have it. They ran out or something like that. There's all kinds of disappointments. And, they're all real. All disappointments are real. And we need to acknowledge that fact. We need to acknowledge that we need to process our disappointments, even the little ones. So here's my question for you. Do you allow yourself time to process disappointments? I know for me, a lot of times, especially those little ones, and sometimes the big ones, you just kind of sweep them under the carpet and keep on going because there's a million things to do, right? There's a million requests in our time. There's a million little children asking us for assistance. That feels like that. I know there's not a million, but it just feels like we don't have time to process our disappointments. And unfortunately, it's not doing us any favors. We need to take time to at least acknowledge those disappointments. Maybe you don't even know that you're disappointed about something and that you're having an emotional response to something that was unfavorable that happened to you. Maybe you don't even know that. Do you acknowledge that you have disappointments? Are you willing to say, wow, I'm really disappointed about that? So let's talk about what happens if we don't. If we don't acknowledge our disappointments, if we don't think about, wow, I was disappointed with that. Why was I disappointed? How can I move forward? What happens? Well, they exhaust us. We get exhausted because we hang. It's like unforgiveness almost. It just hangs on us like a wet towel, like a heavy weight that we're just dragging around. And worse than that, even than all the emotional baggage of carrying around your disappointments, is that Satan uses them. He will take your disappointments and he will use them to plant lies in your mind about yourself. Look at you. You're disappointed about that. How shallow. Or about someone else. So look at them. They disappointed you. They let you down. They don't really care about you. Stuff like that. He is going to plant lies. The enemy is going to plant lies in your mind about your life and the people around you based on your disappointments. And you know what? What he's trying to do there is he's trying to isolate you. Because anyone who's isolated is very easily controlled, right? So if you're united with people and you're doing life with people and you're processing life together, you're showing mercy and grace and you're forgiving each other and admitting faults, those are strong bonds. Those are strong ties, strong relational ties. And that is not what the enemy wants. The enemy wants to isolate you, make you feel like you're all alone, so that you're ineffective. You feel like you can't speak into others' lives because, who are you, right? So this is the great effect of not processing disappointments. Can you imagine that it goes that far? But it really does. It really does. It separates us from others. So what could possibly be good about disappointment? So why do we suffer disappointments? Well, I don't know about you, but when things get hard, I press in to the truth, to God's word, to prayer, to Jesus. I press in more, right? We rely on Jesus more. When things are going well, as humans, we tend to forget to rely on Jesus for strength. We tend to forget God's goodness to us. Oh, because it's just going along well and we're enjoying the well, right? We're enjoying it going well. But when it gets hard and we need answers, we tend to lean into Jesus. We tend to go back to Him for help and support and strength. Another thing that disappointments do is it helps us to strip away all the excess stuff. Do you have stuff? Do you have junk? Whether it's emotional baggage, physical baggage, too much to do, whatever. When we process disappointments, a lot of times we can get right back to the root of what's important, to the heart of the matter, and get rid of all the extra stuff. It also allows God to shape us to who He wants us to be. When we're going through disappointments, we're more open, I think, to being redirected onto the path that He wants us to be on. And it also ends up equipping us for what He has planned for us to do next. It strengthens us. It gives us experience where we can help others in the future. We've been comforted so we can comfort others. That's in the Word. And we have experiences. I think of the Titus 2 stuff. The older women have experiences. They can teach the younger women how to love their families, their husbands, and these types of things. So our disappointments help us to grow and help us to, in the future, support others and do the work that God has called us to do. So generally, like I said earlier, we don't go to God unless we're in adversity. Our faith grows deeper through adversity. I'm not saying it can't through good times, because we absolutely should acknowledge God's hand in our lives and His goodness and what He has done and tell those stories. But we do tend to be more forgetful when things are going well. So I want to encourage you to give yourself time to process. Process your disappointments. Process what you didn't expect and it's to you not favorable. Talk to God about it. Say, I don't like this. I don't like what's happening. It makes me feel, like such and so. Make sure you take time to let yourself really think about those things and deal with them. Don't stuff it under the rug and keep going, because it's just going to be a heavy weight and it could be used to separate you from others, which would be bad. So to get through these things, through these disappointments, you may need to talk to a spouse, a close friend, a mentor, a therapist. You may need to get help, and it's good. It's totally fine. If you can process through things on your own with God through prayer, that's wonderful too. But don't not get help because you're embarrassed or you're afraid what other people will think or whatever. If you need help processing disappointments, get the help that you need. Okay, so let God shape you. Let Him build you into a stronger person who is ready and prepared for the next amazing thing He has planned for you. Okay, some of the disappointments I didn't mention earlier that I was thinking about is with us as homeschool moms. We could be disappointed by, the way a day went, by the way the curriculum was working, by the fact that kids don't like the curriculum, by the fact that our schedule is too busy and you're going insane. You're disappointed that you can't get better meals on the table. Whatever it is, there's so many things that we chastise ourselves for or get disappointed about in our daily homeschool journey. Don't let those disappointments pull you from others, separate you from God. Make sure you're processing them and thinking through them and, what can I do to change these? Is it okay that I'm disappointed about this stuff? It's absolutely okay to be disappointed. How should I respond to that? These types of things. Make sure you're processing through all those types of things. Another thing that could be helpful to you is to find a mentor. You may know that we are working on building a mentor network. The page is live for people to sign up now. And we will soon have people out there that you can network through. And if you know people, if they're a co-op or whatever near you that you can go to and talk to about your disappointments, about what's going on with you, go do it. Get a mentor. Get some support in what you are going through. And I do want to mention too, if you are someone who would like to support others through their times of disappointment, through their challenges, you want to be an encourager, please, please, please check out the CHAP Mentoring Network. I have a link up there about it. The page is live now. You can go to the training. You can sign up on our form. And we will get you listed as a mentor so that you can help people go through their homeschooling journey. You can be there to help people process through their disappointments. It is an awesome, awesome opportunity to be the encourager that the person needs who is processing through things, and maybe be the cheerleader they need to help them keep going with homeschooling, because homeschooling is such a blessing, not only to the children, but also to the moms and to the fathers and to the communities and to the churches. It is a blessing. So moms out there, it's okay to have disappointments. I want you to feel okay with that. It's okay to be disappointed in things that are happening. It's okay to process through it. It's okay to acknowledge it, to talk to God about it, to talk to someone else about it. And God is going to do great things through them, through these disappointments in your life. He's going to be able to mold you and shape you, and ultimately just make you a better disciple of Jesus through them. So I encourage you in them. Disappointments are hard. They are hard. No matter what spectrum, it's bad, small. Disappointments can be really hard, but you will really grow and be better because of them. So I encourage you in that. That's my encouragement for the day. If you're not started school, maybe soon you will be, and we'll be ready to go, and there's going to be disappointments that come along, but pray about them, pray over them, talk to God about them, let them be a catalyst for you to be better in the future. So that's my message for you today. In the future here on Chattin with CHAP, I will be talking about the CHAP Foundation in the coming weeks. In case you don't know about the CHAP Foundation, I want to make you all aware of that. And hopefully I want to do a talk about contacting your state reps and how to do that, and what the process is for finding your state rep, and what it is that you can do just so that they know us, so that they know the homeschool community. They have a positive view of the homeschool community. So that's my plan for the coming weeks. If you have any ideas of things that you would like to hear about, please post them in the comments. You can write into me here at Facebook too with your questions. I love to do shows on things that you're thinking about. Hopefully you saw our unsworn declaration form is available now on homeschoolpennsylvania.org. It's on the same page as the affidavit form. You can go in there and choose the one you want. And that video is posted out there in Homeschool Pennsylvania also, if you'd like to watch that for information on the unsworn declaration. And I did a little video last week on immunizations and how that works with filing your paperwork. So we're all getting our paperwork ready. We're all filing stuff with a school district. And so if you need a refresher on any of that information, feel free to check out the video library here on Facebook. All that information is out there. We've talked about it a bunch of times, and there's lots of other stuff to learn through that too. And if you're not a video watcher, but you're a podcast listener, search for Chattin with CHAP, and you will find it out there on your favorite podcast platform. We are out there. These videos that I do, we transform into podcasts. So it's available to you in podcast form if you prefer that. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being connected with our community here at CHAP on Facebook. And I do encourage you, if you would like to support other homeschoolers, please consider being a mentor. If you're listening and you're not viewing the video, it's chaponline.com/mentors. That's where you can go and do the training and get signed up to be a mentor to other homeschoolers in Pennsylvania. So have a wonderful day. It's a scorcher here in South Central Pennsylvania. So I hope everyone's staying cool and enjoying the summertime. And I will see you again hopefully next week. All right. Bye-bye.